Hi, my loves. It's Miss Simpson here, and it is time for math. This whole week, we are still working on area and perimeter. Now, I know a lot of you are having trouble with the area and perimeter word problems. I know they're hard, but you have to try yourself first. So today, I'm going to go over just perimeter word problems. First off, we're going to do some review. So I have this problem for us today. And it's telling me to find the area of the square below. And the square has 11 inches is one side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for you on this piece of paper. And let's do it together. So I want everybody right now to get out a piece of paper. And I want you to draw a square. Now, here's the thing. When I tell you to get out a piece of paper and I tell you to follow along with me, the expectation is you are doing that. So right now, if you're just staring at the screen and waiting for me to solve the problem, you're probably not going to understand what I'm doing with you because perimeter and area word problems are hard. So if you don't work with me and do what you're being asked to do, you aren't going to understand. You're going to have a hard time doing this. So again, do it with me. Do what I ask you to do. Okay, so let's start off by finding the perimeter. And I did this, actually, let me write down perimeter. And area. Okay, I wrote that down in pen, but I am going to do the work in pencil. Okay, so as you see, one side is 11 inches. You should know that a square has equal sides. All of the sides on a square are equal. So I'm going to go ahead and label all of my sides with 11 because I know that all of the sides are 11, right? Okay, step number 2 is figuring out, well, what's the perimeter? Well, I know that the formula for perimeter is length plus width plus length plus width. So right now on your paper, I want you to write that down. The perimeter or the formula for area, the formula for perimeter is length plus width plus length plus width. So write that down. So now let's go ahead and fill in our numbers. Again, if I'm ever going too fast for you, I want you to pause the video. It's very important that you stay up with me. So I'm going to put 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11. And if I add all of those together, what am I going to get? I hope you said 44. So your perimeter is 44 inches. All right. Right now, right here, I want you to write down the formula for area. Right now, write it down. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I just want you to write it down first. Okay, I hope that you said length times width. Okay, so if I'm doing length times width, I have two sides. They're the same. So I would do 11 times 11. There are two ways you can solve that. You can do the standard method. So you can do the standard way that we do it, and that would be 11 times 11. And you can scratch, lay an egg and do that, or you can do the area model, which looks like this. Like this. And remember, we break our numbers up by place value, 10 and 1, 10 and 1. And you can do the area model. So whichever way you choose, you'll get the same exact answer. I am going to do both. So right now, while you're working, I want you to solve the problem, and I'm going to be solving it with you so that I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to solve the problem so that if you miss something or you make a mistake, you can watch me and see where I messed up or see where I did, and you can see where you messed up. Okay, so I'm going to start with the area model. So in both cases, you can see I got 121. So my area is 121 inches. And remember, area is presented in inches squared, or that's what that little 2 is saying, inches squared. All right. Okay, so I hope that you got the right answer. Do you raise your hand if you use the area model? Raise your hand if you use the standard. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's look and review our anchor chart. Now, we just went over area and perimeter. You know the difference by now. Let's go over these keywords. It's so important. Okay, the keywords: outside, border, fencing, edges, trim, rim, total length, distance around. That has to do with perimeter. So the perimeter you're going to think of as, sorry guys, my neck is kind of hurting me today. You're going to think of the perimeter as the fence. So I always get my brown marker. I think of the perimeter as the fence. Just the outside. So let's say I'm drawing Miss Simpson's backyard. The perimeter is just the fence, right? So if I see words and word problems that say outside, fencing, total length, any of these, I know they're asking me for the perimeter. Or if it doesn't say any of these and you just look at it and you draw it out, think the problem through. Is it talking about the outside of the shape or the inside of the shape? If it's talking about the inside of the shape, we're talking about area. That's inside, obviously. Square units. Remember, I told you we label it inches squared. Grass, carpet, maybe the size of a wall, the size of a door, the face of an object. And that would be like the grass. That's like the grass inside of a backyard. So let's see. Just to get you to picture it a little bit more, here's my little house. And here is my backyard. Okay, this is a backyard. The brown is the perimeter. The green is the area. That's so important to get memorized. So what we're going to do today is we're going to practice some word problems. So we're going to start off with just the basic word problems. We already did practice on the formulas, right? We just did that. Now we're going to practice just some basic word problems. So let's check this one out. Jamie had a rectangle that measured 3 inches by 4 inches. You guys know me, and I like to draw out my problems. I'm always been like that. So I want you right now to draw out your problem. So he has a rectangle, right? So I'm going to draw a rectangle that measures 3 inches by 4 inches. 3 inches by 4 inches. And this is Jamie. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Smith had a square, okay, that measured 5 inches in length. And this is Smith. Whose figure had the larger perimeter? Oh my gosh, we don't even have to do anything. We don't have to determine if it's perimeter or area, because guess what? It tells me to find the perimeter. So I've got to find the perimeter of both and see which one is bigger. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label all of the sides. So on your paper right now, pause the video and go ahead and label all of these sides. Okay, so I hope that you put a 4 here, a 3 here, and 5s all around this one. So now we just have to find the perimeter of both of them. So we're going to add up all the sides. 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3. And 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So go ahead and do that. And when you're done, unpause the video and let's see if you're right. So on the first one, I got that Jamie's has a 14-inch perimeter and Smith's has a 20-inch perimeter. Whose figure had the larger perimeter? Well, I see that Smith's has a larger perimeter because Jamie's is 14 inches. I know I hear the phone. It's okay. We're going to ignore it for now. Jamie's is 14 inches and Smith's was 20 inches. Okay, let's go ahead and do a couple more. Laura had a rectangular, oh wait, I want to do these down here. Okay, Ginger, sorry guys, purchased a piece of cardboard that measured 4 feet by 2 feet. So he's got this piece of cardboard. I'm assuming that's rectangular since it's 4 feet by 2 feet. That's 4 feet by 2 feet. And that's Mr. Tommy. Okay. Oh, wait, no, it's not. I'm crazy. That's Ginger. Make sure you label it right, guys. So go ahead and draw that. So then Tommy purchased a square piece of cardboard. Okay. Good job, Tommy. That measured 5 feet. Okay, so this is Tommy. What is the total perimeter of both pieces of cardboard? Okay, so it told us to find the perimeter. I want you to find, right now, by yourself, find the total perimeter of both pieces of cardboard. Okay, if you didn't pause the video, your video should be paused and you should have this problem worked out. If you didn't, that's the expectation that you're following along. But I'm going to show you how to do it. So first things first, let's label all our sides because I know a lot of you get confused when you don't label your sides. So 4 and 4, 2 and 2, and all of those are 5. So I've got to find the total perimeter. So the first thing I'm going to do is find Ginger's perimeter and then Tommy's perimeter. So I'm going to do 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2. And I'm going to do 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So up there, I did the same thing. 5, 10, 15, 20. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, it doesn't want to know who's bigger, who's smaller. It wants to know the total perimeter. So if it's asking me for total, that is a keyword that tells you something. Am I adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing these numbers? The total. I'm going to add them together. So 2 plus 0 is 2. And 1 plus 2 is 3. So our total perimeter is 32 inches. Nope, feet. 32 feet. Okay, I'm about to bump it up a notch. Guess what, guys? Sometimes they try to trick you. They try to say, oh, here's the perimeter. What's the missing side? Here's the perimeter. What's this? Here's the, We are not going to be tricked by these people that are trying to trick us. Are we? No, no, no. We don't want to be tricked. So I'm going to show you how to solve the perimeter when we have missing variables. So today we're just focusing on perimeter. So when you go to do your assignment, you're just focusing on perimeter. So don't get confused. So let's read this and then figure out how we're going to solve this one. Rachel drew a rectangle. Rachel drew, man, guys, I cannot talk today. Rachel drew a rectangle that had a perimeter of 20 inches. Oh my gosh. It just told me the perimeter. It didn't tell me a side. It told me the perimeter. What am I going to do? Let's keep reading. I'm freaking out a little bit. Okay, 2 of the sides that were opposite of each other measured 2 inches. What is the measurement of the other 2 sides? Okay, so Rachel drew a rectangle. That's our first step. So let's go ahead and draw this out because I'm telling you, drawing out your word problems is going to help you so much. So Rachel drew a rectangle that had a perimeter of 20 inches. So her perimeter, I'm just going to write it over here, was 20 inches. Okay. 2 of the sides that were opposite each other measured 2 inches. I'm just going to say it's these 2 inches and then 2 inches, right? They're opposite each other, and we're just going to say they measure 2 inches. But now our question is asking us, what is the measurement of the other 2 sides? Okay, how am I going to do this? What I'm first going to do is I'm going to write out my formula. So length plus width plus length plus width equals, and guess what? Since we know the perimeter, I'm just going to go ahead and put 20 here. because I know that. Okay, so they give us the width, right? So we've got to figure out length plus 2 plus length plus 2. We've got to figure out 2 of these lengths, right? What am I going to do? Well, we know perimeter is adding up all the sides, right? So what I'm going to do, and what I'm thinking we should do, is take these 2 widths and subtract them from 20, right? Because if I've got to add up all the sides and it's going to give me the perimeter, if I subtract the sides from the perimeter, that should give me whatever's left over for right here. So let's try it. Let's just a shot in the dark. Let's try it. So if I take the perimeter, and I just want to think of this as the whole, like on a strip diagram. Do y'all remember these? Okay. And I have my parts. There are 4 sides, right? 2 of them are 2. And then we need to know these 2. This looks like a subtraction problem to me, doesn't it? I hope that you're seeing it. So 20 minus 2 plus 2 is 4, gives us 16. So now I need to take 16 and fit that into 2 of these boxes. So what I'm going to have to do is split it into 2. So what's 16 divided by 2? 8, right? 8. So this side would be 8 and this side would be 8. Just to check our math, let's go ahead, and if we add all of these back up, it should equal our whole. So 8 plus 8 is 16, 16 plus 2 is 18, and 18 plus 2 is 20. So we did it correctly. Okay. Woo! That was a lot. Let's do another one. Monica had a tile that had a perimeter of 42 inches. 2 of the sides that were opposite of each other measured 12 inches each. What are the measurements of the other 2 sides? So just like the first one, but with different variables. So let's draw a rectangle. Our perimeter is 42 inches. So that gives us our whole. Remember doing strip diagrams. That's what's going to help us here. It gives us our whole, and it gives us 2 of the parts. It does not matter where you label your square or your rectangle. It doesn't matter. I just did it like this because I wanted to. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and draw this. Have this drawn on your paper. So let's go ahead and make our strip diagram. So normally what I do is I just draw a box with a line. The top is going to represent our whole. So 42 is our whole. That's our perimeter. Our whole entire perimeter is going to go right there. So then there are 4 sides. So we've got 4 parts down here that we've got to figure out. So 2 sides measure 12. And just like the problem we did down here, we've got to figure out both of these. So this, again, is subtraction. So we know that we have 42 as our whole, and we're going to subtract both 12 and 12 from it. So I'm going to just add these together, and those both are 24. So if I subtract 24 from that, I'm going to get 18. So now I'm going to take this 18, and I've got 2 boxes I've got to fill, which are my sides. And I know that if I divide 18 divided by 2, I get 9. And that tells me that 9 inches go on both of these sides. All right. Yes, very confusing and a whole lot, but that's okay. Now that you know, you can use a strip diagram. If they give you the perimeter and they want you to know the sides, you can use a strip diagram to figure out that problem. Let's do one more together, and then I will tell you what your assignment is for today. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to have you try to solve this problem by yourself. When you're done solving that problem, unpause the video, and I will see if you are right. So I'm going to go through the problem, and you can check your answer. Susan drew a rectangle that had two sides that were opposite each other that measured 10 inches in length. The measurement of the other two sides is unknown. If the perimeter is 36 inches, what is the measurement of the two missing sides? So go ahead, pause the video, and solve this word problem. Whenever you're finished, unpause, and I will see if you're correct. Okay, so what I would do is I'd start off by drawing my problem. And she says this side is 10. She's got two sides that are 10, and it's a rectangle. And our perimeter is 36 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a strip diagram. So I can see that 36 is my whole, and I always put my whole number on top. So 36 is my whole, and again, it's broken up into 4 because I have 4 sides. 2 of the sides measure 10 inches, but we don't know the other 2 sides. So I'm going to take my whole, 36, and subtract those 2 sides from it to get these 2. So 36 minus 20, because that's what 10 plus 10 is 16. So now 16 is the measurement of both of those sides. So I've got to break it up into 2 parts by dividing by 2. And that will give me 8 inches as both of the sides. Give me a thumbs up if you got it correct. Give me a thumbs down if you're still struggling. We are going to continue practicing this. I know that it's hard, and again, it's not the easiest thing to do, but we're going to keep practicing it. Luckily, none of these kind of problems are in your assignment today because we're going to still practice them together. This is your assignment today. There are 4 problems, and you are finding the perimeter in all 4 of them. So read carefully, draw your pictures in this open space. I need to see all of your work, and write your answers. All right, guys, I love y'all so much. Y'all go have fun working out these problems. Bye.